wait for some folks since we've had some internet issues. That's okay. I will give it a couple more minutes. We'll go ahead and do some double-sided. This. Oh, hello. Thank you for joining. Just getting prepped here a little bit. I had some internet issues. I don't know if you tried at 6:30 or not, but my internet decided to act up, which is very funny because we've got like the highest speed internet you can get. So it happens. So if you're here, let me know who you are. If you don't mind, you can just throw a little comment. Let me know who you are. Oh, hi, Lindiana. How you doing? I got a couple on here. Okay, so yeah, well, I had to run and go get me something to drink. I forgot to have something to drink and everything at 6:30. And by the time I got back downstairs, my internet decided to act up. So we had to reboot and all that kind of fun stuff. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. For those of you that are here, Lindiana and company, just a refresher. We're going to finish our Shamballa. All we have to do. Oh, hello. Is it Geet? Just got home from work. Oh, well, good, Lindiana. That's glad you tuned me in on your home from work. Hello in the Netherlands. I appreciate you joining. We are finishing up the Selma bag. It's the new bag that's in the Zodiac membership for Shamballa Bags. We did part one Thursday night, which we sewed this up completely. That is in, I did have, let me think. I do have it. I should have it in my description. The link to part one, where we sewn up the complete front bag. I only made a couple small modifications. Instead of hidden connectors, I did little D-ring connectors. And instead of a snap pocket, I did a turn lock. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. The links to the vinyls I used, I know, I'm going to say it Geet. I hope I'm saying that right. Is in my description. Now the Mora, this is Mora. This is from Emmaline Bags. She is based out of Canada. So I know she does international shipping. So if anybody's interested in this Mora, it is gorgeous. It's so soft. You might want to reach out to Emmaline. I do have her website in my description. This is from Your Vinyl Source. I don't know if she does international or not. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's not, Lindiana, it's not, I mean, as you can see, it's not overly complicated. I know Sammy does a lot of pattern pieces in her bags, especially on her larger bags. But this one doesn't have as many pieces, and I think it's a great bag. Just real quick features for the folks that are here. Features a two front zip pockets. So these pockets here are separate pockets in the bag. Unzipped here. So these are separate pockets. This does not go through completely, but they go to the center. And then this is a slip pocket here. I don't think my tablet fits. She shows in her tutorial a tablet, but I think it's the smaller. Yeah, this is the largest iPhone. Yeah, this is the largest iPad. So, and it's got a case on it, but you can definitely fit a smaller tablet in this front pocket. And then it's got a back zip pocket as well. And that's the full back of this panel. Let's see. But that's, yeah, it's real nice. And this is real nice the way they did. She did the flap. It's a nice big flap too. I like the flap. But anyways, so we'll get started. Oh, my lining real fast. Here's my lining. This is from Tulip B. This is her, I think it's Zen Blossoms, and this is what she calls is her Smoothie Smooth. Again, there's a link in my description, and it's a bonded poly. Yeah, I did. I seen that, Lindiana, on Saya's her YouTube video. I watched that. Oh my gosh, I was just watching that. I was in heaven. I mean, it was just my handmade space. I mean, I'm not a fan of Boston just because it's a big city, but I tell you what, I would love to have a bag making store like that. There are a couple stores around me. There's one that's just north, it's in Ohio, which I'm right across the river from Ohio. I'm in what you would call the greater Cincinnati area. And there is one, but it's like a 40-ish minute drive. And they sell some bag stuff. I bought some bag stuff from them because they come to a quilt. It's called Stitches. They come to there's like a local little church quilt show in here in March. And they come to that every year. And this year they had a lot of bag stuff. They had a lot of Sally Tomato stuff. And I bought some stuff from them. And but other than, and it's not like nothing like my handmade space. But yes, I seen that, and I still have a stash of Mora because I stocked up on it when I bought it last year. I stocked up on my Mora, so I don't need any right away. But yes, I know where to go when I need some more Mora, because it will be a little easier to get it. Okay, we're going to start right off and do the lining. I did make the zipper placket. I did already make that, but that was to save time. And the zipper placket, it's really common. I've done it many times on other tutorials, and other people have. So I thought, saving some time, we would do the zipper placket ahead of time. I know, and Sammy's patterns, when she does her patterns, she always does links to like pockets and plackets, things of that nature. She always just does links to that rather than putting that whole thing in the tutorial. Just make sure you mark your centers on your placket, because you definitely will need that. Now I will separate this, but I put my zipper on it to make sure my pieces match well, and to get my placement of how my zipper is going to go on. So yeah, this will get separated when I attach it to my linings. But I went ahead and did my zipper. I always make my zipper on my top of my bag longer than it's need to be, because I like my zipper to be a little bit longer. I know I will cut some of this off, but I like to size it to the bag, because when I open the bag, I like my bag to open wide. So, and then this zipper pull here, let me take the plastic off of it. I love these zipper pulls. I got these off of Kasaya. That's Saya Swag Bags. I believe I have her link as well in my description. I'll double check. But this zipper pull, I love this zipper pull. It's a big, ginormous flower. She's got big hearts, big oval hoops, and then these big flowers. And she's got them in all colors. So if you're looking for something that stands out in the zipper pull, go to sayaswagbags.com. Okay, let's get going. So in the pattern, oh, my screen went to sleep. In my pattern, or not my pattern, in her pattern, she does a welt zipper pocket. I'm going to do a overlay zipper pocket, but I am going to do the welt slip pocket. I like that idea on this pattern, so I'm going to do that. But we're going to do the zipper pocket first, and then when I do the welt slip pocket, I'll mention how to do the welt zipper pocket, because it's very similar than if you did it with the welt zipper and the welt, I'm just tearing this word up. Anyways, the welt pockets are similar in construction. It's just a little different as far as, when you put your zipper and when not to put a zipper in. Oh, Thank you, Lindiana. I haven't checked my watch time hours. Let me think. I didn't check them yet. I was busy. Was busy Saturday, Sunday, and then of course I worked today. So yeah, I've been a little busy and I haven't had a chance to check. Only thing is I've noticed is my membership has gone up a couple more since my last live, which is fantastic. I'm at like at 814 or 15, something like that, 814 or 815, which is wonderful. I mean, that's only because I see that when I go in to like schedule my lives or respond to a comment. I see that. But no, I haven't checked my watch time hours in the last couple of days. So I will definitely go in and check. And I appreciate it very much that you do that for me. Okay, so on the zipper pocket, I'm going to use, like I said, I'm going to use an overlay. And I got this cute little tag. Hello, Jacqueline. And this is from Swag Bags, and it just says, it's just so cute. That's kind of one of her little sayings, and I thought this would be just cute to put on there. So we are going to put our zipper overlay on first. So I've marked my centers on my lining. Let me get this pocket out of the way real quick. And she does tell you approximately how far down to mark it. Now, in the pattern, she talks about where to start your zipper pocket for if you're doing a welt pocket. I am going to still use that measurement that she gives in here. If you do an overlay, this is how I'm going to do my overlay. I'm still going to use that placement for my overlay, the top of my overlay, just to be a little consistent to where the pocket should start. I think that will still be sufficient as far as seeing that. And then we can see when it's over with. And then that way, if you choose to do an overlay as well in your zipper pocket, you'll know the measurement that she gives, if it's too high or too low when you see mine. So let's get this started. I'm going to put the camera down as well so you can see what I'm doing. I did change up my setting a little bit. I was going in from the left side, but I decided to go face forward. So let's hope this works. Let me lower this so you can see that is already maxed out. Hold on, I'm messing with my little tripod, so give me a quick second. You can see my big hands, but I got to get, sorry guys, close your eyes so you don't get seasick. Or what you call it, phone sick. I don't know what you call it. There we go. I think that should, yeah. Look, I think that's a good angle. Okay, so I've marked my center. I'm going to have to remark it. Well, there we go. I still see it. So I've marked my center. I just kind of give it a little fold. And then I'm measuring down what she gives in the pattern for the welt pocket, which, like I said, I'm using that measurement. I get my light a little more. Only problem is I move my table a little bit over, and it's a little darker. Got myself in a corner. All right, so we're going to put it there. Well, I forgot to take my tape off. Silly me. Silly me. Silly, silly. Okay, let's mark this again. Do that. And then let me find my center. Again, I think my fold has kind of faded away. Thank everybody. And I do want to thank everybody that is here. I appreciate you. I know this is just the lining of the bag. It's not as exciting as doing the main construction, but it's still, I mean, we're going to finish it off, so we'll still get to see the finished product. So, I mean, finished, 100% finished product, we should say. I don't like to do just the front and then be done with it. That's no fun. Besides, I just like lives. I told my daughter, I said, I really like lives because they're easier, because you don't have to sit and edit them. And it's real nice. I do get several members. And then you're going to cut your center out. Just if you've not done this before, I need longer scissors. If you've not done this before, you cut your centers out. And then you just kind of cut just behind the overlay. But anyways, I'm like, I said, and I do get a lot of new members from my lives, which which is wonderful, and I like that. And she goes, well, besides the fact that you like to talk, I said, well, that might have something to do with it too, right? I married a, he's not a non-talker, but he's not a talker. He's not a big talker. He talks more now than he was when we were first married. It was funny because when we were first married, he was very quiet, but he worked really, really hard when we were first married. He worked in construction, and he was always exhausted when he came home. But he didn't talk like anybody. And then when this was back in '88, and when we had one car, and when I was pregnant with my son, I mean, I was pretty far along with my son. Anyways, when I was pregnant with my son, I stopped to get gas one morning, and the car he usually drove, I had to drive it that day because I had to go sit with my sister because she was pregnant at the time too, but she was on bed rest. So I went and sat, kind of spent the day with her, and so there you go. There's the front of it, and there's the back. It's not, so it doesn't need to be pretty, just enough to where you don't see the front. But anyways, so it was funny because I stopped to get gas, and the girl at the gas station looked at me because it's like the gas station was like right down the street. So he apparently stopped and got gas there a lot. And the girl looked at me and looked at the car, and she said something to me about the guy I forgot how she worded it. I looked at her, and I was so dumbfounded because, first of all, it was 6 o'clock in the morning. I was 6 months pregnant, and this girl was sitting there talking about my husband. Knowing good and well my husband, I mean, trust me, knowing good and well my husband didn't talk to people at all. And he never socialized with people in stores. He don't even like going to stores. He hates them even more now going into a store. Anyways, I said something to him. He goes, I have no clue what you're talking about. He's like, I don't talk to her. I don't know. So apparently the girl must have liked him. I thought he was cute, which he was very cute back then. Not to say he's not now, but you know how we are when we're 20. How old were we? 23 years old. We look a lot different than we do now, right? But yeah, that was funny. Okay. I get talking about that. Yeah, that's just one thing, and I always bring it up, and he gets so aggravated because he's like, I swear, I never talked to that girl. I don't even know who she is. But anyways. So we're going to top stitch the exterior of our zipper overlay, and I am going to pull my threads through, even though my, I need to change my needle positioner. I forgot. I unplugged this earlier, and I know if I try to sew this without fixing my needle positioner on the lowest speed, we're going to have problems. We'll be like, it'll be going so fast that my, I won't even be able to keep up with it. All right. So we got us a couple people, which is great. I appreciate you. So we're going to sew this now. I need it. So I'm going to sew again, I'm sewing on the exterior of the zipper overlay. Now, since this pattern comes as the zipper to be a welt pocket, there is like no zipper overlay pattern for this bag. I have, because I change all of my zipper pockets out this way. I have saved a couple of my favorite overlays that I get from other patterns that I use. And I'll show you what I do. Let me go get what I do. I'll show you. Oh. So what I do is this is the zipper overlay that I use. This is actually from Mr. Heckles. I like the corners and Mr. Heckles is I have it cut to where only one end has got the finished edge and the other end is just regular, I will measure to what the pocket needs to be in the bag, and then I will cut my piece, just cut the rectangle piece that's needed, the measurements of this wide, this width, and then once I cut my piece, then I'll just use the corners, and just lay it down, and then cut around the corners, flip it, and then cut around the other corner to get the shape that I want. That's how I do my zipper overlays. I have this one. I have the one Lynn's Handmade, her zipper overlay for the Saya Sidekick. That's a skinnier one. And in a spot where I want to do a zipper overlay and it's tight area, a smaller area, let's say more narrow area, I'll use that one because it's a skinnier one. I'm using that for the Eloise, I think is what it is, which that's the one I cut out to originally do the live for last week until this pattern got released. So, because I'm using an overlay on that one as well. I think on Shamballa Bags, they don't do a lot of zipper overlays. But again, you can always convert it to what you want to use. All right, I've already pulled my thread through. So, and you really honestly want to pull that thread through before you get back to it, because if you don't, your threads can get not tangled, but like you can actually, it makes it really, really hard to pull through if you don't do that. So I'm just gonna make sure I land in the same hole that I started in, and then just hold on to your threads when you cut, because you want to make sure you pull the right thread through, or else you have what will look like a skipped stitch. It won't look finished. So I'll get this tied off real quick. All right. We're trying to keep, I'm going to try really, really hard to keep this to a couple of hours tonight. I was going to schedule it at 7 because I had run errand after I got off work. That took forever. Let's trying to get prescriptions, and I don't know. It's normally we get our prescriptions by mail, but one of the prescriptions that me and my husband is on, we have to go to our pharmacy to get it. And if you don't call it in, let's see, if you don't call in the prescription, you can have it for 1 month at a time. But if it's a what do they call, a maintenance prescription, then it's got to be a 3-month prescription after so long. And if you don't do that, then they penalize you. And I'm like, just wait. I'll just wait. I'll call the doctor, and I'll call what's their faces and talk to them. I mean, I work for the company. I'm going to tell you right now, I work for an insurance company. Don't hate me. It is a wonderful job. I don't do pharmacy or anything. It's what I do is totally unrelated, but the anyway, so I mean, it's like, got to deal with it. I try not to get nasty, because I did do customer service for a while, and that's a hard job to do. All right. So I had to deal with that. So next step is we're going to put our zipper on through the overlay. Now you could do 2 separate pockets, or you can do one full pocket without doing that. So we're going to keep it this way. So I'll kind of show you how to flip it up and do that. I had to honestly think about it when I did it, because oh, my zipper pull. My brain, for some reason, just would not, my brain, but just trying to center it the best I can. There we go. That kind of looks good as far as being where it's in the center, to make sure it's hanging over just enough. I'm going to flip it real quick. And then just center your zipper. I'm going to put my zipper pull on here as soon as I get it centered. I've only got the top tape, backing off the top tape of my zipper, the tops of the zipper, until I get it situated, and then I'll pull off the bottom and position it. I'm just making sure, I got to get more light here. I'm just making sure it looks even and not wavy. Not so much wavy, but where like the zipper will hit it when it goes. This Mora is so soft that if you're not careful, it will, it lays a little, it moves a little bit. All right, so I got my zipper in. Now I'm going to put my zipper pull on. This is the way I like to do it, only because I don't like the way the zipper gives that zipper. A zipper pull puts a little bump in your zipper tape when you do this. So it's just the way I do it. I just pull it back a little bit. Sometimes I make my zipper piece tape a little bit longer just so I can put this on and not have that to pull it back on, but I didn't on this time. But it's fine. It's fine. Sound like a sigh when I say that. I have a bad habit of picking up people's habits. I don't like do it on purpose. It's just can't get that piece. There we go. Well, come on. I don't never have problems putting on a zipper. I cannot get the... Alright. Please don't hit the floor. Alright, the zipper pull down. There we go. Sorry about taking forever to do I shouldn't say never. Very rarely do I have problems getting it to line up. But because I'm on a live, my zipper's going to want to go. There, we got it. My zipper pull kept, this one's the zipper teeth. The tooth should have been on this side, higher up than this side. That's how I make sure I know they're on the right side. I forgot who, I think it's Lavender Twine. Erica at Lavender Twine taught me that. All right, so I've got my zipper pull on. I've got my zipper placed. Now I'm going to grab my lining. I'm going to put my lining on, and I'm going to put it on with the lining piece. Oh, let me do this. I'll just kind of show you. With my lining piece like this, opposite of my, my zipper pocket piece, opposite of my lining. I'm going to take my tape off, my backing of my tape, not the actual tape itself. I'm going to take that off. Let me make sure my centers. I got my centers. And I'm going to place this at the bottom of the zipper tape. I'll put this on and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'm putting this on at the bottom of my zipper tape. See how the zipper tape's covered up, and then my pieces here, I've got it lined up at the bottom of my zipper tape. So we're going to take this, and then we're going to sew this from here, like one stitch past the end of the placket, all the way, just at the very bottom, over to this side. Again, just one stitch past. That's all we're going to do is stop. We're going to pull our threads through. So make sure your threads are long. We're going to take them and tie them off just to give that nice, neat look. I mean, this thread I probably could get by back stitching, but I don't really need to. I can work with this because this is an easy tie through. So I'm just kind of watching it. I'm going to put my needle down and then hold on to your threads and then just stitch. I just stitch about 1/8 of an inch. 1/8-ish, a little over 1/8, let's say, from the edge. Just go slow. Just watch it. Make sure you're one stitch away. I'm one stitch away. So I'm going to pull it up like that. Take it out. long threads, and then I'm going to pull both of these threads through. I don't know if anybody here watches, it's Butter Bags. I can't think of her name. Honestly, it's terrible. I just recently started watching her. Well, I started watching her, and then she moved. So I've not seen too many of her videos. She does a lot of lives. But she posted one today. Basically what it was is, I guess she does a lot of TikTok. That's what her main format, I suppose, is TikTok. And then she posts it over to YouTube, I guess, after she does her lives with TikTok. Well, this one was. That's the way this one was. Anyways, so she moved from Hawaii to, well, she's in Arlington. Her husband's in the service, so he got he's working now at the Pentagon. She said at the Pentagon. What'd I do with my scissors? My scissors are missing. There they are. Anyway, so they had to move into this townhouse. Hello, Michelle Bustamante. Independence, Missouri. I know where that's at. We've driven through Missouri many a times when I drive out west. My husband did reserves, so he was at that Air Force, not Air Force, no, I'm sorry, Army base out there in outside of St. Louis. Now, once you get the bottom put on like this and tie off your threads, you're going to fold your piece down to where you see it, where you've got your wrong sides together. Now, typically you can iron this if you use like a fabric, cotton or something. Because this is like a, this poly bonded is, I could press it. I mean, honestly, it's not going to hurt it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to throw a little double-sided tape on this right underneath my stitching so I can lay it flat. Now, you don't have to. You can, I mean, it's not going to be like real poofy if you use this. It just gives it a flatter look, and it's just better look that I like. And if you hear the dog barking, I apologize. Anybody that's been watching me for a while, Lindiana and Jacqueline and all of them, they know we've got a puppy in the house, and she is, she's a barker. I'm not going to lie. All right, so I've got that. Now it's nice laying. Oh, hello, Sharon. Laying down nicely. And I'm going to take the other part, and I'm going to take my backing off. And I'm going to take and place this at the top of the zipper tape. Just line it up with the back. So you're going, this is how you're going to do that. So it's lined up at the back. And then when you're going to flip it over, and then you're going to start stitching. Let's see if I can show you this. Since my thread does blend well, if I can see. So there's where I started. This is where you're going to start. You're going to start here, go up, and then over, and then back down to on the other side. And I'm only going through this process in case you're not familiar with doing this. Because I don't know. I mean, I know Lindiana and Sharon and Jacqueline have seen this a bazillion times. But just in case I have someone that's not familiar, I just wanted to show it. So let's go ahead and get this. Again, I'm pulling my threads through. I've got my basement screen open, my basement door open with the screen. I live near a firehouse. And I'm going to tell you what, I mean, I live right by the interstate too. But it's quiet back here until those sirens go off. And I'm going to tell you what, I don't know how busy other people's fire departments are, but those fire people are constantly going, constantly. And honestly, my niece's ex works for the city I live in too. I assume he still works here. I don't know. Him and his new wife have a house out here somewhere, so I assume he still works for the city here. But anyway, yeah, so if you hear sirens and stuff, I apologize. I got that opened up. It is an absolutely gorgeous day here. I love that it's just great weather. The only problem is, number one, this isn't late August. We don't have weather like this in late August. It's like fall weather here. No lie. I don't like it because it reminds me that summer is right around the corner. I'm not summer. I'm sorry. Winter is right around the corner. And that means there's snow coming and cold. And anybody that watches me, I grew up here. Not in the city I'm in now. I grew up in the greater Cincinnati area. So I'm used to snow. I was here during the big snow of 77, 78, which was big snow for us. I know other people who live in places get more snow than that. But that was big snow for us. But anyway, I hate it. Honestly, I hate the snow. I'll look at it on a postcard, but that's about it. I just don't like snow. All right, we're going to close up our zipper pockets. Now, my zipper is really close to my pocket, so I'm just going to sew on my pocket like I did the front pockets. I'm just going to start close to the zipper and then tape and then sew down to shut it up. I'm going to just start from the bottom and go up. So it's easier for me to, whoa, sorry about that. I thought I changed my speed. I need to watch my feet, right? All right. My threads, and then we're going to sew this side up. Just easier for me to sew it this way when I have to go up against the zipper like that. I'm just going to pull back my lining and go up, and I'm just going to stop right at the zipper tape. That way I don't get that pinched look. Okay, we're going to go one more stitch. There we go. All right. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not getting it. All right, so now my zipper pocket's done. There's what it looks like. So it's a nice little zipper. It's a nice roomy zipper pocket too. Boom. Now we're going to do that welt pocket. So I need to bring up, it's really easy, honestly. Let me pull it up because I did make sure I had the little tutorial that she's got. And the reason why I liked it, because the pocket's since it's inside the lining versus a pocket on the outside of the lining. That's what I liked about it. All right, so we're going to set this aside. Again, my centers are marked. Let's do this first. Let's go ahead and stitch this on. So we're going to put our placket and our upper contrast, I think is what she calls it. Let's see what she calls it. Yeah, upper contrast band. We're going to grab one of those. Mark my centers on the band. I do have the back. This is a drop-in lining. So on the upper contrast band, I do already have my fold down line already on there. And she always puts it on the pattern piece. I think she also puts it in the pattern itself, but she always has it on the pattern piece, so I just use that. I'm going to mark my centers. My zipper placket's already been marked with centers. I did at the beginning. I am going to unzip. Let's see. I'm going to leave it zipped while I make the placement because I always have to think when I put this on. So to do a zipper placket onto your lining before you sew the contrast band, I always lay it down with it together so I can get the right position, because when you put a placket on, no, I didn't, Sharon. I knew she came out with one because I was watching Barbie on Saturday. And I was watching to see if Barbie was doing a sew on it. I checked earlier today. I didn't see that, but It didn't pop on my YouTube, unless she didn't. I'll have to look it up on her website. Is it a neat pattern? I know Barbie said she liked it, so I haven't, and like I say, I looked to see if Barbie was going to do a thing on it, and I didn't see anything, but then I got busy. I mean, I'll tell you, I do play YouTube in the back. It's a new wallet. Okay. I like wallets a lot. I'll have to check it out and see if it's a good wallet for a craft show. I need to bring some more different wallets to my craft shows. But I'm going to place this up. So when you sew this on, you got to have it, make sure it's, the placket is face up. You're going to put wrong side to the right side of your thing. So I always lay it down, and I want my zipper, because I put my zipper pocket in the back of the bag, and I always want my bag to open like this from the zipper pocket. So I just lay it down to make sure I have the right placement, and then I will go ahead and remove this and make it and separate this. So when I sew it on to the other piece, I don't like, you can keep it on, you just have to have a big zipper, and you've got all that kind of awkwardness. And I prefer to go ahead and do it this way. And I also do it all at once. You can baste the zipper placket on before you put this on, but as long as you're careful putting it on, you probably don't need to baste it. But of course, whatever you're comfortable with. I think the first few times that I did this, made bags this way, I would baste it first. Yeah, I'll have to look up Sharon. Like I say, I knew she was coming out with one, and I'm not sure if I'm on her email list either. I thought I did, because I know I've seen other patterns that come out. I don't know. I actually worked a little harder today than I normally do, so I didn't check a lot of stuff. I know that sounds terrible, but fortunately my boss doesn't do bags. She knows I make bags, but fortunately I know she's not watching. Yeah, I usually play stuff in the background when I'm working, but I gotta have noise. I come from a person that worked years in an office, and then you start working from home. You just I gotta have noise. I would sit when I was at work, you'd have the noise, but I also sat and worked with earbuds in my ear and worked that way, and it worked quite well. But I can't, it's hard for me to do that now. I don't know why I can't just sit and put earbuds in my ear and listen to the music like I did. I like to play YouTube in the background and listen to YouTube, or put it on a show. Like, because I was talking about Gilmore Girls. That's a good one just to put it on and just play and have noise in the background. But I just rewatched it, or sort of rewatched it. So I can't watch it again. I can't do it that close together. I could, but anyway. So we're going to top stitch, and you're going to top stitch on the lining. So you're going to fold your seam down towards the lining. So we're going to top stitch like that. Make sure your zipper pocket is up, because you're going to top stitch on with the zipper pocket up. Another one. I just made her Evie bowler bag. I made one. I think I might have showed it on another live, the Evie bowler bag I was making for my sister-in-law. I just said it was a gift. It was for my sister-in-law. I gave it to her yesterday as an early birthday present. And I love that bag. She loved it. She was so happy, because she never buys anything for herself, so I make her bags. I do that because she, number one, she cares for her father, my father-in-law, and he's a hard man to be around. And Number two, she babysat my kids when they were little. I mean, my kids never had a babysitter outside the family. And it was my mother-in-law, and then after my mother-in-law had an aneurysm, she was all right. She just, her personality changed a little bit. My sister-in-law started watching the kids. I'm getting my pieces. That's what I'm doing, in case you wonder what I'm over here fiddling with. But anyway, yeah. So my sister-in-law watched my kids. So it's like, and she watched them for free. She never, so I like owe her way more than I can give her. Okay. So we're going to do the welt pocket. So I'm going to mark my centers. Yeah, I'll have to keep an eye on. Now I do get emails for Ora Rosa. I got to update because I changed my personal email recently. So I do need to make sure my account, my login and stuff with Ora Rosa is updated because I changed emails. But I do get emails from her. I know that for a fact because I got one when the Evie bowler bag came out. But okay, now we're going to do the welt pocket. So when you cut out your pieces, she gives you a pattern piece for the welt pocket facing because you need a facing. I only cut out one facing piece since I did a overlay for my zipper. So I only cut out one for the slip pocket. So that was just a little side note there. All right. Now, on the welt pocket, let me see what the measurement down is for that. She gives you, she'll put in there how to assemble such and such pockets. And what you do is then you go to her tutorials if you're not familiar with it. But she puts in there where to start on this particular pattern, where to start down, because each pattern may be a little different as far as where to place your facing. Okay, so recommendation, okay, so it's the same as the zipper pocket. All right, so I am going to, and I'm not going to mark on this because I'm worried that this is going to, that it won't come off because of the type material. So I'm just going to use my ruler to mark the measurement down. I'm going to just make sure I'm centered as far as my rulers put down and it's centered. And let me move over a little bit. See, I don't know if I like this position of the camera. I really think that you can't see everything I'm doing. There we go. You can see some of my junk on my shelf, and I put myself up against my shelves. Got patterns, got patterns, Christmas stuff, and purses at the bottom that I bring back and forth to my shows. And then I got purses all around me. It's crazy. I've got shows, 5 or 6 shows coming up. I mean, I did 3 in the spring, early spring, nothing through the summer. And then now for the fall, I have, well, one is a 2-day event. That's coming up in a month, or yeah, 4 weeks, I think. 4 weeks from this past weekend. And then I've got 2 in October, 2 in November. Yes. I could do more in October, but I can't. I'm not going to do that. October 11th is my son's birthday, so I'm not doing one that day. So I will be, my son, I will have, my youngest will be, well, my daughter just turned 40. She'll kill me. She's probably watching me, and she probably hears me say that. She sneaks and watches me, but she doesn't tell me when she watches me until after it's over. I watched it for a couple of minutes. So, your welt pocket. I've got it already cut out. What you're going to do is you're going to cut your center and then do your little angle thing here like that. So, you've got your welt pocket facing cut and ready to go. She puts it piece I showed you here. She gives you the window. I cut the whole window out, but in the window that I cut out, she does show you where to draw the center line. You just cut a line, mark it in the center, and then cut it. And since this part's not going to show, I just used an ink pen. I put a place where my center is. I put a little mark there, and you're going to put this right side together when you install the welt pocket. So let me flip back over. I mean, I pretty much know how to do this. It's just been a minute. So I just have to kind of refresh my memory. So we're going to place this down like this, right sides together. And then I am going to put, let's see, I don't want to put well, I'm going to just put a couple stick pins. You can put this on different ways than you want. Some people will put tape right here. They'll hold it still. They'll put the tape along this edge here on the inside to hold it still, because you can't put it on the outside because this is going to be pulled through. The outside is. You could, if you want to do that, put some tape here to hold it still. Let's do that. Let's see if we can do that. I think this is the way we did it on Ora Rosa's Evie Bowler bag. I'm pretty sure. I'm just using 1/8 of an inch. I don't need anything particularly strong, and I don't want to go particularly big on this. So let's do it. Let's do it. And that way I don't have to put stick pins, or I have washi tape. I tried that on to hold stuff still, pocket still, washi tape. And you know what I just did? I just put it on the wrong side. That's not funny. Whatever. I don't know. I tell you what. So I'm putting the double-sided tape on the right side, just along the very edge where the slit is cut. Just don't do like me. Don't waste and put it on the wrong side. Actually, that might work because it'll help lay it when I pull it through. So there you go. So I'm going to pull off the first one. Whoops. You guys, I have bought so many patterns in the last couple weeks. I've not done a table talk in 2 months. Almost 3 months now. And I'm sure people don't care about my table talks, which is fine. They don't get as many views as my other stuff, which, I mean, I understand that. I mean, I don't expect those to be heavily watched. But I've bought so many patterns in the last couple weeks. I am ridiculous. And because I call it my ADD, I have to cut out. I mean, I got a stack right here. You see this little crate right here? This is what my Selma's in. So this is my Selma, and this is what I put my stuff in, these little crates. I used to get them at Joann's, but I've heard that you can get them at Amazon, but I'm not buying anymore because I have 4 here. Okay, that's including Selma. I have 2 behind me, 1 on my cutting table of stuff cut to sew. I gotta stop. I got another one that I want to start cutting for, but I don't have any containers. I don't have any. I'm out of my buckets. So I have to make myself stop cutting for patterns right now. Cutting bags. I've got to finish I've got my little Aspen Crossbodies, the Center Street quilt bag. It's just a cute little bag. Oh, let me see if I can reach and not hurt myself. I'm making a bunch of these little guys for my crafts, the shows I'm having. And these are just made out of cotton and fleece. And it's just the easiest little bags to make. And they're just cute little crossbodies that you can use. Or crossbody or whatever. That's the Center Street quilt. Center Street Quilts. She's on Etsy. But anyways, I got a bunch of these that I'm working on. And I stopped to cut more stuff. I cut out my Oh, we're going to sew on the line that I drew. So we're going to sew along this line. You can make a full rectangle or just sew on each long line and leave these open. Don't sew on these ends, which that's the way I'm going to do. I see a little thing flying. Because this little point here, when you fold it through, this little point needs to lay flat. And I find if I don't sew that little short edge, I can get it to lay flatter. I don't know how the proper word. I can get it to lay better if I don't sew that end, because you got to be real exact where you start and stop for it to lay flat. All right. So we're going to sew on the line that is drawn from the pattern piece. You're going to start right on the edge of that. And then I'm going to backstitch because this is just to sew the facing in place. Just be careful when you backstitch that you don't go past that piece. I got to get my pocket to touch. My pocket separated. Here we go. All right. Just go slow to make sure you stay straight and steady. One more stitch, but I'm going to crank that. Just make sure you land where you started, or at the line there. So like I say, I'm back stitching because this is not you don't see this stitching. Let me cut that off. And this is kind of, I mean, it's kind of how you put on the zipper pocket. It's just, you're just not using like a placket or an overlay, I guess you could say, to put this on. So I think I might have this a little crooked, but I don't know that it'll be that noticeable. I'm hoping it won't be that noticeable. I think I might have it a little crooked, but we'll see. Not sure. All right. Anyway, yeah, I got to stop cutting because I got to finish getting ready for the fair. Oh, that's what it was. That's what I was saying. The everyday crossbody. I got that cut out this weekend. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Crocheting. I was taught crocheting, Sharon, when I was a little girl. My aunt crocheted, and she taught us girls. I have two sisters. I'm in the middle of three girls. First of all, let's do this real fast. So I've got the top and the bottom sewn on. Like I said, you can sew these sides if you want, the little short sides. I just don't do it. Then you're going to take your facing and pull it through. Oh, you got to cut a slot here first. I'm sorry. So let me get this cut. I forgot you can't pull it through without the slit cut. So you just want to center it and cut the center out. Just make sure. You should do it before you put this on, by the way. I messed up. Okay, some people do use she suggests to use a seam ripper to stay consistent with the line. And since I didn't cut mine beforehand, I think I'm going to do that. I am going to do the seam ripper to stay it straight. I hope my seam ripper's sharp. I just don't have a real sharp seam ripper. There we go. But anyway, yeah, I would learn to crochet when I was a little girl. And she would crochet us a bunch of stuff. I had this cute little crocheted purse. It was so funny. The purse was crocheted, and since you crochet, you know it's not like it was really cute. This is from the 70s, so it was funny. But anyways, I carried that thing around with me everywhere I went, but it didn't have a lining or anything in it. I'm going to use my scissors to finish it out. Didn't have a lining. I lost stuff all the time carrying that purse around. Um, because it didn't have a lining. It had big holes in it front because it was crocheted. But I love that Goofy purse. I thought that was, I don't know if it's because my aunt made it. We love the aunt that made it. I have several aunts. My mom is one of 8 kids. She's the oldest, and it's mostly girls. And that one is, she was, the aunt was only like, I think this one was, mom was number 1, and the aunt that crocheted, I think, was number 3 of the girls. Got my hole cut, so we're going to take our facing and push it through to the back and fold this back like that. And I'm going to use I'm using double-sided tape to place my backs instead of ironing it flat. But anyways, she, again, this was the 70s, and she was, we called them my hippie aunt and uncle. They weren't hippies, but we were just young kids, you know, living in suburbia, and they were just, my aunt and uncle, they were just cool people. They divorced years ago, but my aunt passed years ago, and but she was the nicest person in the world. She was an educator. She lived out and moved out to Nevada after her second divorce, and she overseen adult education. They were country. My mom grew up in the country. My grandpa is a farmer, and she wanted to teach. Her goal in life was to teach adults to read. It was a very ambitious goal. Problem is people just didn't want to learn to read. She did struggle with that fact that people just did not want to learn to read. But she did. She designed reading programs, adult literacy programs for the state of Nevada. Up until she passed. She didn't work for a while, long time before she passed away because she had cancer, and she was out for a long time before finally she succumbed to cancer. She went through sarcoma, very rare form of sarcoma, and she went through every treatment she could possibly go through. Went through experimental stuff, just didn't work. Yeah, Lindian, I'm probably the same way. I mean, doing this is difficult enough. I'm actually starting a new arthritis medicine. Um, she said I could take it tonight since I took the one this morning. Pharmacist, that's one of the things I had to go get is prescription. One of my prescriptions I had to go get when I got off work. But oops, that's not straight. And I don't know. I just asked if I could take more of what I take, and she's like, no, you're not allowed to take any more in a day's time than you already take for that, what I'm taking, which I'm on diclofenac sodium. It's just like to me, it's a superpower aspirin, basically. It's an NSAID. But anyway, and she's put me on Celebrex, and I don't know anything about Celebrex except what I read online. And I just don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to try it, but it kind of scares me a little bit because it's known to give people heart problems. I don't need to add to my list of ailments. I mean, not that I'm like a sick person or anything, but I'm kind of iffy on. I'm just using tape, guys, just to make my pocket look right. That's all I'm doing. I am using tape to hold down these little corners, these little edges, just so it lays better. And I'm just kind of checking it out. I think I need to fix this just a little bit. My opening looks a little wonky, I think. So that's pretty much, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I stopped doing this, is because I can never get always had a hard time. And since I'm using double-sided tape to make it look right, it makes it a little more difficult. There we go. Sorry this is taking so long. No, that's the one thing with live is you mess up and then you got to stop, fix it, or move things around, and it's not like when you're doing it. Guys, I don't really like that. I mean, although my lining matches my zipper facing, I don't like that it's peeking back. It doesn't look nicely placed, is what I'm trying to say. Oh yeah, Sharon. I can't close this hand. This is as far as my grip is. If I put, yeah, this is it right here. I don't I don't think you can, I don't know if you can tell. But my middle finger is not straight at all. It's so swollen. And then this finger goes crooked. I mean, it is what it is. It's hereditary. I mean, I knew I was probably going to get arthritis in my old age. I just somehow inherited an aggressive form of osteoarthritis. I've been tested for everything else because RA runs in the family and lupus runs in the family. I mean, all that runs, and they've tested me for all that stuff. It's been a few years. I really probably should get tested again. But let's see how that looks. Let's see. That's much better. So there's my opening right here for the welt pocket. The welt pocket. Now, once you get that all prettied up, while she gives you the instructions on how to do the welt pocket, she also has you put, and this is what I thought was kind of neat. She has you put a piece of, just like you're doing like an exterior pocket, she has you put on a piece, what's it called? Pocket strip. It's basically, you're going to put a piece on this lower part of it just to kind of accent that a little bit. Fold it in half. All right. Oh, that's pretty nifty, Swifty. So she has you cut this piece here. I'm going to get the old good old double-sided tape again out. So I'm going to tape. She says to glue or tape. It's kind of a neat idea, actually. And you're going to tape, like I said, glue or tape on this. I'm just going to put a piece of double-sided tape on the bottom, like that. And then you're going to fold it in half. This is really kind of neat. This is so you don't have a raw edge on the front of the pocket. So you're going to fold it in half. So just something to note, now that you do it this way, make sure you don't have a really thick piece of vinyl when you do this. Because obviously when you fold it in half, you're going to have the layers. But this Mora is very soft. I mean, and it's really great to sew with, honestly. It is very, very, I used a lot of this when I was sewing just on my domestic. And then what you're going to do, this is actually a little longer than needed. So let me trim this down. Doot to doot. Right there. So this really should be the exact size of the opening. I think it is just still a hair too long. Let me just make sure. I need to cut just a tiniest little more off of that. So make sure it's exact. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put another piece of double-sided tape on this. And I'm going to use actually my 1/8 of an inch. I'm putting it on. I want to do the top and the bottom of this. But you're only going to take the tape off one side before you put your pocket on. Give me a second. I'm reading and I'm taping. So anyways, yeah, so I'm starting Celebrex tonight. So we'll see what happens. Because the diclofenac's not working. And I use Voltaren at night sometimes. Yeah, so anyway. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece and you're going to put the raw edge on the inside, on the where it's going to be on the inside of the pocket. Let's see. So you're going to put the raw edge, place the welt pocket strip at the back of the welt pocket facing the raw edges of the strip should be toward the bottom. Center this piece well and make it cover almost the entire opening. But does it say? I'm confused. Give me a second. So does it? Oh. So you're going to place it back here. I did that. Do not put tape at the top. I messed up. It's kind of neat, actually. Give me a second, guys. Oh, I hate when it stays. Allergic to Voltaren. Then you could never take diclofenac sodium, I can tell you that. Because that's pretty much, Voltaren is the cream form of diclofenac. So don't ever, if they try to push, if they say that, don't ever take it, Lindiana, because that's what it is. So this is interesting, and I'm sorry, guys. I looked at it earlier, but it's kind of neat. So you're going to take this and you're going to place this line this up to where it covers your pocket. So here, I'll show you. It's kind of neat. So you're going to take this piece, push it up, line. I'll show you when I get done to line it up. Make sure it's straight. I'm going to turn it this way so I can see what I'm doing. So see how I've got it there on the back, and then I've got, that's the raw edge, and then I've got the folded over edge like that. So it's peeking out, but yet you still got just that little bit. So that's what you're going to do. Then after you put that down, you're going to grab your pocket piece here. Boom. And you're going to put some tape. We're going to put some double-sided tape on the top and the bottom of the short edges. It's really kind of neat, honestly. I'm glad I did this. I'm kind of messing it up because I'm reading and going along and whoa. I'm reading and trying to figure it out at the same time because I've not done one of hers. I usually just do sew the pocket on the front. I usually don't do this on her patterns, but I thought I'd do something a little different. What time is it? It's 8 o'clock. Okay. Top and bottom. All right, so now we're going to sew this on just like we did our zipper pocket. So we're going to take that off one of the short ends, and then you're going to line this up to the bottom of your facing. So you're going to line this piece up like where this is sticking up, opposite to the lining piece. At the bottom, make sure you're centered. Not doing a very good job making sure it's centered. Very important to be centered. So I've got my center mark there. I'll show you here as soon as I get it placed. I'll show you what I got. All right. So you can see all of my facing is covered because I've got this piece of pocket completely over the facing. So then what you're going to do is you're going to flip it like this. Flip it over. Get all my goodies out of the way here. And then you're going to sew the bottom just like you did with the zipper pocket. So you're going to start like a stitch past at the bottom, a stitch past, and then go over. But where you're going to sew, you got to make sure where you sew that you're sewing on this piece here. So you're going to go just about, yeah, your top stitch length, 1/8 of an inch. I can give that because that's a top stitch. So you're going to top stitch 1/8 of an inch, which is a normal top stitch length. I'm pulling my threads. I'm trying to hold on to my threads because you're going to want to pull your threads through. There we go. Make sure I am a stitch back, at least. All right, let's sew this guy on. This is kind of neat. I wish my facing looked better. I just couldn't get it to look right. And I'm going to go one stitch at least. Whoa, I went 2 stitches past, but that's fine. That's okay. I can actually pull that stitch out because it won't show up on this piece. All right, let me pull one of my stitches out. I need to go back one. I put too many, it's too far over and it won't look right. There we go. So see, we got that. So you just adjust the bottom like that. And then I'm going to tie my threads real quick. We are actually almost done. I make the easiest task take so long sometimes. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I appreciate it. Let me get my laptop went to sleep. All right, there we go. I'm just trying to keep an eye on some things. So we're going to tie these little guys off. So remember we did our live on the Isabella. I made a mistake on that bag when we did our live. I got to fix it. And it's not going to be an easy fix. I don't know. Maybe I might video it. We'll see. It's the side connectors. I didn't sew one of the side connectors onto the bag. Gorgeous bag. I love the bag. But I messed it up. Go figure. That's what happens. Again, that's what happens when you do lives and you're not paying attention. I'm going to put another piece of double-sided tape like I did on the other, like on the zip pocket, just so this lays better. You don't have to do this, honestly. I mean, I know I waste a lot and use a lot, or should say. It just makes it lay nicer. And I just don't want to take it and try to iron it and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just playing it down, just making sure it lays flat. Like that. And then guess what? You're going to take the bottom to bring it up to the top of your facing, not not the top of the piece. You want to go to the top of your facing. You're going to stitch that just like your zipper overlay. So let's line it up. Go to the top of my facing. There we go, like that. And then you're going to fold, let's see. I think you fold back your top. Let me look real fast. Remove the backing. Okay. Oh, you will finish it out this way. So you're not going to flip it back and stitch it. So you will go just, yeah, like I just said, like your zipper overlay. Start where you start your stitching, where the end of one of your bottom pieces go. So I'm doing that. And then we're going to, again, pull our threads through. So we're just going to start going stitching. And then just keep it 1/8 of an inch. Top stitch length around my pieces wanting to pull. Pretty nifty swifty. I don't know why I haven't done this before. Afraid to try something new, huh? I like this because you've got that cute little, I'm going to call it a pocket. What do they call them? Pocket, tissues or pocket, I don't know what you call them. What people used to put in pockets. I don't know if I don't think they do that anymore. That's what it reminds me of. Those little pocket kerchiefs or something like that. I don't know. If anybody knows what I'm talking, handkerchief. Thank you. Duh, Toni. Handkerchief. I was getting ready to say if anybody knows what I'm talking about, but you got me. You beat me to it. Oh, guys, Labor Day sale. Woof. Oh, there's a hole punch that I want to get from her. It's for grommets. I hate grommets. I'm not gonna lie. I do. There's some bags though I really want to sew that have grommets on them. I just haven't done it because my first experience with grommets wasn't great. I always put a little tape over my stitching like that because I'm weird. But anyway, I seen it in one of her videos. You guys are a bad influence on me. But anyways, it matches. I think it's a 1-inch punch. And it fits exactly her grommets, and they're like snap grommets, not screw-ons, and they're good. She says they're good, so I'm going to believe it. Good grommets, and I really think that I would like grommets if I had a little easier time doing it. Okay, so there's the pocket there. Isn't that cute? You got the pocket there, but you got that little bit of, you got the handkerchief sticking out a little bit of your pocket. Isn't that neat? Okay. So now you're going to sew it shut. So you're just going to sew the sides since the top and the bottom are already sealed up. So we're going to stitch the sides shut. I need to make my stitch length a little smaller here. I got it on top stitch length. There we go. Yeah, there's let's see. Simply Classics got a sale. What you seeing that she's got a sale. Forgot who else. And if you have Kasaya's calendar, they've got some great coupons coming up. I'm just saying. I'm not gonna lie. I just I have to put a hold. I mean, I'm buying patterns because I sit there and tell myself, oh, that's, $10, $15, da-da-da. They got it sale, so I'll buy that pattern, so on and so forth. But then when you look at it, I spent so much money on patterns, and I've got to, but I do want to get some more vinyl and stuff. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm still paying off my last Tulip Bee order, so that's where I'm at. All right. I got to pay that off before I buy any more stuff. I got to have a good craft show is what I need to help pay some of that off. All right. So guess what? That's done. We're going to put our zipper placket on and our upper contrast. We're going to stitch our linings together, and then we are going to get our tape. I don't know. I didn't put the tape on my bag the other day. I still haven't taped my bag for my drop down lining, which is not good because that's going to waste time. All right. So again, make sure your placket is up, facing up when you put this on. I'm just going to hold it with a clip until I get my upper contrast. Make sure you put it on the right way. And so I have some more light. All right. So let's get this clipped on and get this sewed on. Yeah, and I need more stuff from Tulip Bee really bad. Well, I don't know if I want. It's kind of good she's out of stock of some stuff, because the stuff I really want and need is what she's out of stock of. So I'm holding. I'm trying. And I got hollering at the dog to get her to go outside. All right. let's go ahead and top stitch. The door's supposed to be closed. Sorry about the dog barking. They opened up the door, and you can hear her coming down the basement, because I'm not far from the entrance to the basement. All right. I'm just over just a tad bit, so I just need to snip the... No, Cassie did. She left it open for me. Sorry, guys, I had to clarify something. Trying to get the dog outside, and she walked right into the screen. The puppy, she's not used to screen doors. She thought the door was open, so she walked. Door was... Yeah, she thought the door was open, so she walked right into the screen. All right, so my lining's done. What did I leave open? Oh, you didn't. Your dad thought you left the door open, Cass. She's on the live, Gem. She heard me say that. Yeah, she walked right into the screen, Cass. So I'm going to put some double-sided tape at the top for my drop-in. And my zipper's in the way. I'm going to do this now, so that way I don't have to mess with it when it's done. I should have already done it on the other one, but the other night when we did it, it was getting late, and I didn't think about it off the top of my head. Okay. Yeah, so I tell you, my daughter sneaks in every now and again, and she's spying on me. She's making sure I'm not talking about her. Clip your little zipper tails out of the way. And then we're going to sew our lining together. Since this is a drop-down lining, you do not need to leave your bottom open. Make sure because you've got that contrast and the lining, make sure these points line up. Usually, if you don't get them to line up by just going down, you can start with this first and then work it to make sure it lines up correctly. Sometimes if I shift it a little bit, it's usually in the lining, and I just snip that little extra, which is not a big deal on the lining. Talking about them? Yes, that is the truth. Glad she wasn't here when I announced her age, right? So we're gonna sew it up completely since it's a drop-in. All right. Hon, I was telling them the story of when I was pregnant with Corey, and I went to that gas station to get gas that one morning when I went to Michelle's, and that girl was asking about you. I was telling that story because you was out flirting with girls at convenience stores. Let me see if I need to increase my stitch length in the lining. Give me just a second. Da-da-da. Let's see. Important for proper fit. Sew in the seat. Yes. Okay. So she does have you increase the stitch length. So I'm going to start at a quarter. Well, oops. I'm going to start at the seam allowance. And then when I get to that point where the lining gets folded down, I am going to increase my stitch length, because I find sometimes if I wait till I get below this usually puffs out a little bit. So I'm going to keep my stitch. I'm going to make my seam allowance at at the wider one when I get to that point, as soon as I get below that. So let's get out to my larger seam allowance. There we go. And I need to decrease my, there we go. We're just going to close it completely up. I do the sides before I do the bottom. So we're going to flip it, do the other side the exact same way. All right. There we go. And let's get the bottom. And then once we get our little corners done, then we will be, let's see, that is off just a hair, which is fine. We can work with that. Let's see. There we go. I don't mind if I go a tad bit over the seam allowance that she gives, because I like a nice snug fitting, all right. Now let's go ahead and box our corners, and then we'll trim down our seam allowance on our lining. So we'll get our corners. Now, I can open these up if I want, but this lining, it really doesn't matter. I'm just going to nest my seams on boxing these corners. It's not a big size, or it's not very puffy, and it's not gonna matter in how it lays. I'm trying to say. I need to take a drink of my Coke. Give me a second. All right. Keeping my Coke nested on my shelf here. Guys, I've got like 4 puzzles. I got on this habit of buying quilt puzzles. And I made one years ago. Got another one that I started, and I got stuck on it. I think it's the Eleanor Burns cabin puzzle. It's one I'm working on. I've been working on it for 5 years. I stopped. And then I've got like 4 puzzles sitting here that still need to be done. I can't get rid of. I used to do puzzles a lot when I was a kid. That's all I did. I sat and I did puzzle after puzzle all the time. And now, because I just want to sew, I don't do puzzles anymore. But I can't get rid of my puzzles. So my thing just slipped. So give me a quick second to get my lining back where it belongs. Took the clip off and it slipped, so I got to hold on to it. But I think I am going to try to sell some of my old quilt. Let me check this. My seam allowance wavered a little bit. I've decided, I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I've decided to sell some of these quilt kits that I have. I can't sell them all. There's some of them that I won't have to keep. But I've got quilt kits that I've got. Some were bought as a kit. A couple of them have patterns that came with the kit that I bought. So those will go with the pattern. But if I sell the ones without patterns, I won't be able to sell the patterns with it, obviously. But I think I'm going to part with some of my quilt kits. I just have to make an announcement and get it figured out, the ones I'm going to get rid of. I just got so much of that stuff, and I know I'll never make them. But I think if I sell them to my quilting bag making friends, I think I'll be fine with that. just trying to make sure this doesn't slip. Sorry, I was kind of getting quiet there. Yeah, I just, Sharon, I love puzzles. And I got frustrated with that puzzle. And then I put it away. And then we moved. And we've been here for 3 years. And I still haven't touched it. I pulled it out to think about doing it, but never did do it. And I will get that puzzle done. One of these days, I will finish these other puzzles too. I don't like that seam. I think that's not wide enough on the end. I'm not doing a really good job with my seam on my corners here. There we go. There we go. That was a little better. It was way too small on that one side. All right, so that seam allowance is trimmed. Let's trim down these seam allowances. And I still put tape on my main bit on the exterior. I'm just starting right below where I fold it down. And then stitch cutting it down to about an 1/8, between an 1/8 and a 1/4 of an inch. Get that bulk. Oops, don't cut the lining itself. All right, now let's cut the bottom. And I got so much cotton fabric. I don't know what to do with all of that. I don't know. It's hard for me to get rid of some of that stuff because a lot used to when we used to go on vacation, when we went on vacations, I would go to some of the quilt stores, the independent quilt stores, and buy fabric from, I mean, whether it just be a fat quarter pack, a small fat quarter pack, or, you know, a charm pack. I'd always buy something from the, if I went into an independent quilt store to support them. And so I've got stuff like that. And then it's like, I can't get rid of that because that reminds me of a vacation. So I don't know. I'm a mess. All right. Oh, yeah, well, I get that. You know what's funny though, Sharon, is I don't really lose my sojo, which is weird. I wish sometimes I did, so I would get some other things done. Sometimes what happens to me is I'll just sit and cut out patterns. I don't know if it's because I just just didn't want to sew that day or not. Because it's patterns that I want to sew. I just sit and cut out patterns. Not patterns, but I sit and cut out bags. But I can honestly say that I've not gotten into like a rut where I just don't want to sew. My husband wishes I probably got into a rut where I didn't want to sew, but... All right, so I got my seams open. I'm going to go ahead and fold down my lining to the line that she gives you in the pattern. So you're going to sew it down, fold it down to that line. All right. And this faux leather from this Mora Faux Leather, so soft. I haven't worked with it in a minute, and I just forget how soft it is. I've made moonwake bags with the Mora Faux Leather. It's the lavender and twine pattern. It's called the Moonwake. It's not cheap to make because it's got a lot of hardware on it. Emmaline Bags sells hardware kits. I think she still does. Sells hardware kits for those Moonwake bags. But I'm going to tell you what, the Mora Faux Leather is like the perfect bag to make those Moonwake bags with. I'm not going to lie. It's got such a nice drape to it. And the way she has you place the Decoville helps it to drape a certain light. It's really neat. I really like Lavender Twine's patterns. I didn't care for the last one she came out with. I didn't buy that one. All right. So we've got king size quilt. Well, Jacqueline, I'll tell you what. Okay, you're fine. And you know what? I will somehow make an announcement when I do make that. when I do decide which ones. Some are quilt, like I say, some of them have patterns, so the patterns comes with the kit. Some, the pattern was bought separately, so of course I can't include that, that pattern. But, of course, I'll tell you which one it is. There are still, what's her name? Heather, I think is her name. She does a lot of the floral pattern quilts. I've got several of hers, like her sunflower one. I love that one. Rose something. Yeah. I made her poinsettia table runner. I had that one and I made that one. That's, I could use that. I put that on my kitchen table at Christmas. It's a poinsettia table runner. But anyway, yeah, I'll make an announcement and we'll figure it out once I get through it. I'm going to get through this quilt show in September and probably do some cleaning out. Is she scratching at that fence, or that screen door, Jim? Oh, she's tearing up that seat cover. You're not, all right, fine. Sorry, guys. Oh, thank you, Delphina. I appreciate that. I always forget to mention that. Okay, so that's done. Let's get this side done. And then we're going to stitch it together, and then we'll be done. Like I say, I forgot to put my tape on. Some puppy wants inside. Sorry, guys, for the barking dog. Is Cassie wanting her to stay outside? Is she let's just wait and see if she stops first.
No.
She's trying to, now she's not happy because she can't get back here behind me. I got her blocked off. Oh. I had my space puppy proofed. She ain't figured out that she could probably push her way through. I just got my little like divider things up, and if she pushed hard enough, she could probably get it through, but she's mad at something. Mad about something. All right. I really should have had this done before this live here, guys. Sorry about this. Taking time to do all this. And I appreciate everyone that's still on here. I do, really do. I know you can't, some people can't stay, and then some people really don't want to watch the lining piece. All right. Let's get this folded down and get it put together. Just making sure my tape is on there securely. All right, we're folding it down to the line, which the line is actually the top of the Decoville. Just open your seams up to alleviate bulk, because you do have your seams actually your seams do not meet, so you will not have that additional bulk, but you still want to keep your seams open. Well, Miss Sparky needs to. We're getting there. We're getting there. This has a little dip in it, so we got to make sure we get that to look right. I don't know if I can. I think I got it to look right. Oh, we'll see. It's supposed to have like a little swoop to it. I think we got that swoop in there. Hold that down first and then I'll work. There we go. All right. Let me just give it a good little press. Now, what I've been doing when I do drop-ins, and it's just, it helps me. Oh, wow. You have a long arm quilting machine? And Jacqueline, are you in California? You're in Arizona, right? Something, I can't remember. I've got so many quilt tops, pieced quilt tops that I've not got quilted because it's so darn expensive to get quilts quilted. Well, have someone do it professionally because I don't quilt quilts. I hate it. I'll do the babies. I've been doing them, the like the great nieces and nephews that are being born. I do those because I just straight stitch those. Plus that's too much money because there's just too many babies. There were 4 born last year. Yes, 4 born last year, and now I've got 2 more due in 2026, but 2 in January due in 2026. Michigan. Oh, I need to talk to you. See how much you charge. I need to talk to you. I've got one, my Christmas one that I made for my bed. It's queen size. I made it for my bed, and I absolutely love the quilt, but I've not got it quilted, so I can't have a Christmas quilt on my bed because I don't want to, because the money costs to get done. But 87, yeah, mine's oh, Sharon, I was gonna say mine is a queen size. I think, I don't know how big queen sizes are for beds. But yeah, I really do want to get at least that one done. All right. What I've been doing lately is putting double-sided tape at the bottom here of where the seam folds down to. That holds it to me. It holds the lining in there better, and I don't have to put a bazillion clips on it, because what happens is my clips will start hitting the nose or get caught in here, and then it causes me grief. And I find that this really helps me. Again, I've already said this. I do use a lot of double-sided tape. Thank goodness Wawac gives you discounts when you buy them in multiples, because I do. But it helps me. I like it. That's my way of doing it now. I've just started doing this about month and a half-ish ago. I started doing it with one bag out of just accident to try something, and I loved it. Oops. So we're just doing it that way. Boom. All right. I still put some clips in, but I just don't put near as many clips in, and I don't have to worry about my clips hitting. You know, it's just me, the way I do it. Okay. So let me make sure I put this in the right way. The back. Oops. And probably shouldn't have taken that off until I put this in there and then took it off, but we'll see. Let's get this guy in here. Tuck everybody. And then I'm just going to start matching up centers. And I'll put a clip in the centers, so that way it holds. And then since there's not a center seam, we just kind of match up where the dip is. Let's do it the opposite first. Let's do it that way. That's smarter, isn't it? Oh, okay. Where's my center? Oh, I don't have my center marked here. Yeah. There was one point my daughter was talking about starting a long arm quilting business, and as like a little side thing, and I was very nervous about it. I'm like, I don't know. It scares me to do that because I worry about messing somebody else's quilt up. And I'm not real familiar with doing that kind of stuff. So I would, I'm just trying to get this, I got to get my foot off the pedal so I don't do it. I'm just trying to work this in so it doesn't pucker. There we go. And then it's hitting this before I can get it set where it needs to be. All right, let's see. Let's give it a nice little, making sure my lining isn't peeking out. All right, I'm just going to throw a couple clips. And like I said, I do still use a couple of clips in some of the key areas. It's not quite, that's interesting. That's not quite in the center on this side here. I don't know. Let's see if I can switch it a little bit. Because that is kind of bothering. There we go. Let's see. And just make it lay better. There we got it. Oh. Sorry, I'm just making sure that lays a little bit more towards the center. It was just too far off the center. There we go. We got it. We got it. So I've got it in there like that. So I've got it all set together. All right. I top stitch with my front of my bag to my bobbin, but I'm comfortable that my bobbin will be fine. Tension on my bobbin's fine. I don't have any problems, but I really need to check my bobbin. And guys, don't laugh at me when I check my bobbin, how I have to do my bobbin. When I bought this machine, the warehouse that shipped it already had the oil pan installed. The oil pan is too far to the left where I cannot get my hand up underneath here properly to put the, I'm going to try. I can't. See, I can't even find it. Where's the bobbin? There, nope, yeah. The bobbin is too far in, and it's really, really hard for me to get my hand in there to get that bobbin. So, this is how I have to do my bobbins. So don't laugh at me when you see me do this. I have to literally, oh, no, don't go in there. Sorry, my screwdriver's wanting to fall into that oil pan. I have to literally lift my machine. I hope I don't hit my phone. Here, let me move my phone real quick. There we go. I literally have to, this is how I have to change my bobbins. I just want to check it. Yeah, there's enough. I needed to make sure there was enough for top stitching. I tried to make sure I had a full bobbin because I didn't want to have to do this on camera. Embarrass myself. But I don't think it's me. I think it's the way the pan was installed. Because I've tried it many, many times, reaching my hand in there and doing it. And it just doesn't work. Okay. And then once it's in there, it's in there. So I'm not going to try to unscrew it and put it back in. It's all right. There we go. All right. I am going to backstitch on my bag. I will start like towards the side like this, kind of off to the side a little bit, and backstitch. Since this thread does blend really well with this, I'm just going to backstitch rather than trying to do the whole threads and everything. I will need to clip here. It wants to pucker a little bit, so let's throw a couple clips in here to hold this shut. It's kind of this area right here where I had to work in the lining to line it up better in the centers. I got oil on my hands just by doing what I just did. It's making it want to pucker right here. So that's where I'm going to start. Maybe that'll work that pucker out. All right. So let me get. I actually, Jacqueline, I have done that. And trying to see it, but the problem is where it's at and where the opening of the oil pan is. It's like further back this way, and then I got to reach into here, and I cannot get my hand completely in under the machine to get the bobbin and pull it out. I have actually gotten the bobbin pulled out once, at least once, if not twice, but I cannot get the bobbin back in because I cannot get my hand positioned in that opening of the oil pan enough to pop it right back in. It's like I said, I mean, it could be me, but it's, if I feel like if my oil pan was just a little bit more to the right, I would probably be able to do it. It's just like, it's kind of like out of reach for me a little bit. It's really, it's a pain in the butt, honestly. But anyway, let's do this. Let me get my camera back over here where we can see what I'm sewing. And again, I'm just going to start stitching. I'm just going to do a quick little back stitch, nothing major. And I do go just a smidgen over an eighth. I mean, not really, just a smidgen. Oh, my thread wanted to pull. Hold on, let me get my thread. There we go. All right, I'm just going to back stitch. And it should be fine. Just I have to be really careful when I come back around. Make sure my top stitch length is so that I don't try to top stitch in the same spot. So I'm hoping I'm not going to knock the camera doing this. And this, it's just so soft. Makes this so much nicer to get this clip. I'm just going to move it down a little bit. Just making sure my lining doesn't flip up a little. There we go. Make sure you keep your placket out of the way when you sew. Whoa, slow down. That's when you get crooked. Let's trim my threads. All right. Well, it's got such a nice wide opening too, so it makes it really easy. I probably could have top stitched this by laying the bag a different way and top stitched it with my bobbin thread on the inside. As nice wide opening and soft as this vinyl is. But I've been doing it like this for a while, so, and like I say, I'm confident on my bobbin tension. I don't, make sure too when you get to the back where that flap is, that flap is out of the way. I almost forgot. We are almost. Okay, so I'm almost to my starting point. I just got to watch that really close to make sure that I stop right before, or I stop in the hole where I started. I'm just getting my threads cleaned up real quick where I trim. Are you serious right now? There it is. My lighter just shot. Sorry. My lighter just went flew. There we go. I'm just getting these threads singed. There we go. So when I come back around, it's I don't have to clean them up. There we go. All right. What I was saying was I just got to make sure when I get to it, I land right in the hole in which I started. There we go. And then just do one back stitch. That's it. Let's see. Well, it looks fine. And then you look. Let's see. Let's do a quick little another singe. Let's try not to throw out. I have to do my lighter funny. I have to light my lighters with my thumb. There we go. Guess what? except for my putting my zipper pull on. Oh, I need to take that off too. There we go. Let's put our zipper pull on. Look at that. That's nice. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's just so cute, like my little tag says. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. Oh, I got a silver mark that I didn't take off the other day. I hope, yeah, it comes off good. My center mark that when I put my flap on, I forgot to take it off. All right, look at that. And I used a turn lock. I like using that turn lock. That's nice. Turn locks, size swag bags, 1.5" turn lock. All right. Let's put our little zipper pull on. So now let me, oh, I got to put my zipper pull on real quick. What time is it, guys? 8:45. Almost 8:45. Make sure my zipper's turning the right way, yeah. See, that went much nicer. Oh, let's get, so that's a nice, you got a nice zipper closure. And then you got this nice flap. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And I'll put my strap on here just a second. Boom. I'll make the camera. Thank you. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Okay. Let's do my zipper. Put this on. And I like my zipper to clear my bag. So I'm going to cut it right here. Okay. I like to use glue on my... All right. Screwdrivers. I think this is the one I use. Tell you what, I wish I could get that one, that screwdriver that Barbie has. She's got one of them little battery operated screwdrivers. She just goes, whoop. I wish I did that. I had one of those. But I already got this, so I have to stick with what I got. Which this is pretty nice. It's got it off Amazon. It's a pretty nice little set, so I'm not going to complain what I have. Let me get it magnet down here so I can not lose, so I don't lose the screw. All right. Yeah, it is pretty. But you know, Sharon, the thing is, I mean, I put it in my description. She doesn't have the lemon yellow anymore. She does have pink. So I linked the pink one. But I tell you what, if you reach out to Renata, I bet you, if you wanted a full piece of it, I bet you she probably would special print it for you. She's very, very nice, and she's I mean, she's great. I had that orange and black stripes that I have in some of my bags. I had that special printed, and I put it in the thing. I had to call her and talk to her, and she told me exactly how to do it. And it's very, very nice person. Very nice person. And then she told me it was going to take a minute to get it done because she wasn't running another print. But I got it within days. She's in Texas, so she's very, very nice person. Yeah, but the pink is really, really pretty. Yeah, I know. I'd say, yeah, I would, if you really do want that, Sharon, I would reach out to her. All right, guys. I think that is the final step. Let's get this put back. Oh, let me get my glue put away so I don't have glue oozing everywhere. I will raise the camera here just a second. I think the strap looks okay. I was worried about the strap not looking right, like it would be too dark, but I think it works. All right, let's raise the camera. Oh, get my bench out of the way. So there we go. Isn't that pretty? So this is the Selma. Again, it is part of the Zodiac group membership. It's like you get like 3 patterns at least. Every now and again, she throws in something fun. It's one price, and it's just, I mean, it's a great deal, honestly. So there you go. Again, you've got I got a turn lock instead of a snap closure. You have a zipper, 2 pockets on the side. Those are separate pockets. You've got a slip pocket in the front. You have a zipper pocket in the back, and that is a nice roomy zipper pocket. This is a great pocket to put your phone, keys. And then you also, not only do you have the flap for a nice little look, you've got a zipper closure at the top. And then you've got that cool pocket, that welt pocket in the front there. And then your zipper pocket in the back. My husband's peeking. All right, so there you go. I love this bag. It is so cute. All right, guys. Thank everyone for watching. I do too, Lindy. Again, Lindy, and I got these from Kasaya. So she has them on the shop. They're the 1.5-inch turn locks. I think these are great turn locks. I mean, they really look. I really like them because they're nice and long. They're not the little tiny ones that you could get. But anyway, go sign up for that membership. It's a great deal. I really like her membership deals, and I love it. So thank you so much again. I know I already said that, but thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. I can see just my jaws. And everyone for watching me for both episodes. I will, once I get it uploaded, I will make sure that I have to change it to say public afterwards. Sometimes I forget. So I just have to make sure once it uploads that I make sure it's available if anybody missed the beginning. And the part 1 is already on there. So if you didn't miss part 1, go check it out. I'd appreciate it. And if you haven't given me a thumbs up, I would appreciate a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. I also have, if you want to help support me, my channel, I do have Buy Me a Coffee. That is at the link is in there. It's just something I just started. I don't get monetized for my YouTube yet. Thank you, Lindiana, for helping me out. I appreciate it. Or watch my videos. That'll help me out to get to that point of being monetized by YouTube. We're just working on it. It's a practice. It happens, it just takes time. It don't happen overnight. But anyway, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. You all have a good evening. And thanks for watching Quilted Cactus. Good night, guys. Yeah, I can't even talk. Good night, everyone. Bye.